In today's video, I share my honest thoughts and opinions on the master of the 619, Rey Mysterio. Yo, what is good guys, back here with another YouTube video, and in case you cannot tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my honest thoughts and opinions on someone or something going on in this wacky, weird world of professional wrestling. As you can tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my honest thoughts and opinions on the master of the 619, one of the greatest of all time, easily, in my opinion, the greatest high flyer of all time, Rey Mysterio. And for myself personally, I would love to know what your thoughts and opinions are on Rey Mysterio down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. Feel free to follow me on the social medias. Links to the ones that I have should be in the description down below. And Rey Mysterio is, like I said, one of the greatest of all times. Definitely one of the greatest wrestlers, superstars, whatever you would want to call them, to perform in WWE, without a shadow of a doubt, in my opinion, and whatnot. And arguably best high flyer of all time. I know people will say either him, or people of my generation will say either Rey Mysterio or Jushin Thunder Liger kind of deal are the two most common answers I've seen. If you say Liger's better, I won't necessarily disagree, but I also won't necessarily fully agree kind of deal and whatnot. But when it comes to Rey Mysterio, I will always have a soft spot for him in my cold Canadian heart, because if it were not for him and if it were not for Eddie Guerrero, I don't know for sure how I would have really, or how much I would have paid attention to pro wrestling, because those two, when I first started watching back in early '04, were the two that I immediately gravitated towards. And it was not necessarily because of their in-ring work, it was more of the fact that what their gear looked like and the fact that they had tattoos. Obviously Rey Mysterio had more at that time than Eddie did, but they still had tattoos. As a 9-10-year-old kid, I like that kind of deal with the gear, and then their in-ring stuff was definitely a bonus kind of deal. And Rey was one of the key factors, like I said, that made me want to tune in, week out. Like, Rey and Eddie made me a fan. And when Eddie passed in November of 2005, I watched one episode, or I watched the Raw and SmackDown after the passing, like the tribute episodes, SmackDown, where Rey and Batista won the tag gold, and that was it up until really he won the Royal Rumble. Like, I would watch a little bit here and there in January when Edge won the title, but it wasn't until Rey won the Rumble that made me tune in, week out again, kind of deal. And knowing that I was able to meet him back in August of 2019, mind-blowing for myself, kind of deal, and whatnot, along with the fact that I was able to get a professional photo, 2 autographs, and tell him face-to-face, in person, thank you. And if you would have told me when I was a 9 or 10-year-old kid that, don't know for sure if I would have believed you, but honestly, Rey Mysterio will be, without a doubt in my mind, first ballot Hall of Famer, headlining act kind of deal, if that means anything to anybody, and whatnot, wherever or whatever he does in his career, unless it's something drastic, I don't think it would hurt his career, kind of deal. Like, he could have 1-star match for the next, let's say, 2-3 years, week in, week out, and I don't think that would harm his legacy. Like, people not necessarily wouldn't remember that, but they would remember this moment of his career, that moment, or the Rey Eddie feud from '05, or the Rey Eddie match from Halloween Havoc '97, kind of deal and whatnot. And for myself personally, Rey, one of my favorites of all time, third to be exact, behind Eddie and behind Edge and whatnot. But yeah, that is kind of my thoughts. Without him, I don't want to say I don't think I would be a fan. I don't know for sure if I would have really tuned in long enough to be described as a wrestling fan. And if I wasn't a wrestling fan, I wouldn't have the memories that I have. So he's definitely a big factor on that. So I will always have a spot in my cold Canadian heart for Rey Mysterio. Like I said, I would love to know what your honest thoughts are on Rey Mysterio down in the comments below. While you are down there, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. More importantly than doing any of that, hope you guys are doing okay mentally, emotionally, and physically.
The world that we tend to make up is nothing but a fantasy until you wake up. I feel like I'm just lying to myself, yeah. Cause I just crossed the line like I'm playing offside. I do it how I want and I'ma do it till I die. Feel like I'm just lying to myself, but it's